Welcome to the Millcreek Government Channel. I am Judy Zelina, and today I wanted to talk about the Erie VA Medical Center. The Erie VA Medical Center has been providing health care to our local heroes for over 60 years. Here today to talk about some of the programs that we have in place and new things that are coming to happen for us. We have the Public Affairs Specialist, Sarah Gudgeon, and Sarah has been on our program before, and it's always a pleasure to have you here, Sarah.
It's great to be here. Thanks, Judy.
You know, we were talking a little bit about how many people you've served, how many veterans you've served. You and your satellite offices have served over 22,000 veterans here in Erie County.
Yes, and that was just last year alone.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
In 1 year.
In 1
think
year.
about it.
I know.
Okay, how would a veteran take the first step to be able to take advantage of some of your services?
Well, like you said, we've served 22,000 veterans, but there's so many that don't know about it. So the first step is to either contact the Erie VA Medical Center. You can walk in Monday through Friday to our eligibility clinic right there, or you can walk into any of our satellite clinics as well. And we really encourage veterans to sit down, take a couple minutes out of their day, and talk to an eligibility representative. You definitely want to bring their DD-214 service discharge papers with them, which any veteran will know exactly what that is. And they can just bring that in with them and see if they are eligible. So there are two main eligibility requirements. It can be either income-based or also service-connected injuries or illnesses from their military experience.
And this is something that the intake counselor is going to be able to determine even what they're eligible for, because they may be coming to you thinking, well, I want to take advantage of this program, see if I'm eligible, and then you're going to find something else that they could fit in?
Exactly. And I'm happy you brought that up, because when veterans do come, again, they don't know all the services that we have. And when I was talking about those service-connected injuries or illnesses, a lot of people don't think about audiology or hearing loss that veterans might have from loading bombs from World War II to any mechanical type of service. So that even hearing loss can be a service-connected injury or illness. So again, that's why we really encourage veterans to take that first step. Come see us. We are a new VA. You know, we are patient-centered. We are there for the veterans, and it's really our privilege to provide the health care for our heroes.
You were talking a bit about your community-based outpatient clinics. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, a couple years ago, I would say in the 1990s, you know, we really realized that we need to be providing have a local presence basically in our rural communities there. That's why we established our community-based outpatient clinics, which we have in Ashtabula, Crawford, McKean, Venango, and Warren. So we are all over the place. We have a large catchment area, but we have 5 clinics located right there. So now location is not going to be a barrier to healthcare, which is really important for these veterans. No veteran, whether they're living in the rural areas, that shouldn't stop them from receiving excellent care. So at all of these CBOCs that we have, we call them CBOCs or VA clinics in the community, we have doctors, providers, nurses, so they can go in, be seen for primary care, get labs drawn. We even have behavioral health specialists and social workers at many of the clinics there to help with any mental health issues as well, including homelessness in some of the rural communities. So it has been a wonderful, wonderful experience to be really immersed in these communities and also to be providing that service for our veterans.
I think too, with these outpatient clinics, just from talking with you about it, a lot of our veterans maybe don't have access or the ability to get here into Erie, Pennsylvania, from Warren, and what are some of the other areas?
Warren and Ashtabula, Ohio,
right.
Venango.
So gosh, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyhow, they don't. Maybe they won't have a way of getting in there, or even thinking if they need some treatments, boy, I'm going to have to come into Erie every day or once a week. So you've made it easier for them to be able to get treatments.
Exactly. You don't want to have to worry about driving 2 hours to be seen for primary care or to be seen for those treatments. So we're really trying to open up access to veterans and make our services available to them.
speaking of making your services available to the veterans, you guys are moving with the times.
Yes, we are.
And you are using new age technology to bring these benefits to our veterans. How exactly are you doing that?
Well, there are two main programs that are really opening access again. Those are telehealth programs and then also our My Healthy Vet program, which first I'll tell you a little bit about what telehealth is.
Okay.
Like we were talking about, if you're out in Warren, getting some of those specialty care services might be very difficult. Let's use dermatology for an example. Even locally here in Erie, you might have to wait months in order to be seen by a dermatologist.
Right.
So what these telehealth programs do, it's a non-face-to-face clinic basically. So somebody in Warren could just go to our Warren community clinic right there instead of coming all the way into Erie and be seen via video or be seen using a camera of some sort and not have to travel 2 hours just for a consultation or just for a brief introductory meeting. So basically it's non-face-to-face care, again, using that video and it's eliminating miles in between the patient and the actual provider who they're talking to. So it's really allowing them that specialty access, again, that we're talking about. And we have dermatology services, colonoscopy education groups. You don't want to have to drive 2 hours for something that's going to be, excuse the pun, a pain in the butt anyways. So you can just go to a local clinic and be seen right there. We also have just a lot going on with those programs and also a home telehealth service, which basically monitors those patients who are chronically ill, whether it's COPD or something like that, severe diabetes. We have equipment at home that we can give to them and monitor them from their home. So they input vitals every single day, which automatically are transmitted to a care manager at the Erie VA Medical Center. This way they can make sure the patient isn't declining, and it's really proven to prevent patients from going into the hospital because they're able to stop problems when they're occurring. So that's a little bit about telehealth.
That program is good. I would love to be able to use that.
It's amazing. It makes
Really?
it so simple, and patients, I know the non-face-to-face is a little scary for some patients, especially when you like to be seen by your provider, but patients who are using it are absolutely thrilled by it, and they said it feels to them like they have more one-on-one time with their doctor now because it is so focused on that.
And a doctor is actually on the other end.
Yep, it can be.
Is looking at maybe something on the arm,
Yep.
whatever it may be.
Let's say you have a mole, they have a special microscope that can zoom into it. The doctor is communicating with the patient and the healthcare tech who's in the room with the patient, and they're getting the job done that simply. So that is a great, great program. For veterans to get involved in this, they can talk to their primary care team and ask what's available for them.
How long have you guys been doing this?
Well, this is pretty new. Over the past couple of years, we've really started to expand it. And again, this year, I mean, we're really moving forward with more and more programs, not just dermatology, but sleep clinics, colonoscopy education, diabetes and weight management classes for some of the rural areas.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
It is.
Oh, I learn something new every time you come on the program. I absolutely love it. You're talking about My Healthy Vet.
Yes.
Now, how is that different?
Yeah, well, they're very similar, and it's still sort of a non-face-to-face type of communication. But what My Healthy Vet is an online resource that veterans can use to manage their health care. So they can go online, type in their username, password, and refill the prescriptions or send a healthcare message to their healthcare team. They can view lab results. They can input vitals. They can pretty much manage their entire health care right online. They can even see doctor's notes. So chances are, if they're leaving, a lot of times if you walk into your primary care clinic, they tell you something, take this prescription how many times, you know, as soon as you leave that primary care clinic, you forgot what they said, most likely. I do, at least.
Well, I do too.
So yeah, these doctor's notes, being able to go online and see that is really helpful, and again, it's really bringing the patient into control of their health care.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
It really is. You guys are, what I really like about the programs is you recognize the need for one-on-one. Being, of course, that you're limited with physicians and physician hours, this is a way of actually bringing it to our veterans.
Absolutely.
Kudos.
And the access to it is the major thing, expanding access for our veterans. So this makes it possible. Yeah.
All right, Sarah, what I want to know is, there's other doctors out there and hospitals and so forth. What can the VA offer veterans that these other healthcare facilities can't?
Well, we have that veteran-specific care. We understand and see a lot of veterans that come in with similar issues. I'll give you an example for post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay. So many veterans feel like they are alone in that. So many individuals even who have PTSD feel that they're alone in that. But because we provide that veteran-specific care, we understand what you have been through. We have that veteran-specific care for prosthetics, for a wide range of services that we can really focus on. And that's what differentiates us from other facilities. You know, we have that veteran-centered focus on the patient. We also provide patient-centered care, and this is what we're really moving into. Where I was talking with My Healthy Vet, patients can control their health care. We want all of our veterans to be in control. We want them to be the leaders of their healthcare team, and having them step up and empowering them to do so is really what we're focused on. And I think that's going to make it very personal and leave you wanting to come back and really take control of their health care. So again, I mean, we're really all about honoring service and empowering their health. So anything that we can do, we're going to stand behind that. And
I think it's important to point out that, like you said, some of the problems, some of their history, their health problems are related to their service time. And you guys understand that.
Absolutely.
You really do.
And many of our employees are veterans themselves as well.
There you
So
go.
yeah, that makes it makes it feel a little bit more like home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We're seeing a large growing population of women in the military now. Now, do you have some specific services that are focused just for women?
We do. We have an entire women veterans health program there, and a program manager that is dedicated to rolling out new programs, events specifically for women who served. Now, a lot of women veterans actually don't realize that they're veterans or that they're eligible for health care, because so many people think that a veteran is just somebody who served in combat. No, we're telling everybody no, and that's a huge, very common misconception.
It
So
is.
if you served,
it truly is.
Absolutely. If you served in the military, though, you may be eligible for health care, and that goes for these women. Our Women Veterans Program Manager, Nadine Sitter, is absolutely wonderful. She will help coordinate all the care that you might need, and also we are changing face of the VA. There are more women veterans coming in. There are pregnant women veterans coming in. We can do gender-specific healthcare services such as Pap smears, which you'd never think that you could go to a VA medical center and get that. Yeah, but we offer that gender-specific care. We don't do labor and delivery, but we will work to coordinate services outside in the community for that. And a lot of people don't know that we do cover prenatal and maternal care for women veterans.
No,
So,
I did not know that.
yeah, it's a growing program,
Yes,
and it's
it is.
absolutely fantastic to have that type of support. And for the women veterans coming in too, a lot of times you can kind of feel alone in your community because you might not know other ones, but our program manager, she has a women veterans support group that meets at different times. They work on different projects, and really just having that camaraderie is so important for them to get connected and feel connected again.
What are some of the projects that they would get together and maybe do?
Well, currently it is, coming up in April actually, is Military Sexual Trauma Awareness Month. That is something that can occur to women in military. It also occurs to men in military as well. But what they are doing a t-shirt project, which is where they're writing down either their stories, favorite sayings, remembrances of some of their fellow veterans or military service members. And they're designing these t-shirts, and they're going to display them proudly in the Erie VA Medical Center once they're finished with it, just as a tribute to themselves, celebrating women veterans, celebrating the strength that that is there, and they're going to display that.
That is absolutely wonderful.
It is. It is. It's a great project, and some of these are just incredible. Some of these
Oh, I can
T-shirts, they're
imagine.
amazing. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Another subject I wanted to talk about is post-traumatic stress disorder, and I know suicidal thoughts and attempts, depression. These are some of the things that our veterans may be struggling with. What services do you have to help these veterans to get through these times?
Yeah. Well, and our behavioral health clinic is right there to help them with any mental health issue, any mental health illness that they are going through. This program has more than doubled in the past couple of years, both with patients coming back to be seen and with staff. So last year alone, we have about 4,600 veterans walk through the doors of our behavioral health clinic to seek help. So the most important thing I can tell you and tell veterans is that they are not alone in what they're going through. We understand and have services specifically providing catering to those issues, such as we have a PTSD education program that goes on a recurrent basis that veterans can come in. A lot of times you don't necessarily understand your diagnosis until somebody really tells you about the symptoms, about the treatments, about how to cope with that, because it is a life-altering illness. It can be. So we have PTSD education programs. We also have a psychosocial rehabilitation and recovery center, which is a mouthful.
Yes.
But we have that available. And basically what that is an intensive outpatient recovery program that veterans can come in who are struggling with a serious mental illness, and that mental illness is affecting their lives. So they come in to really kind of dive into the issues that are going on, the support there from other veterans as well. And they work on a lot of fun projects as well in there, just to kind of help them regain those social skills. Or a lot of times if you do have a serious mental illness, you can isolate, and especially from our veteran population, if they're struggling with post-traumatic stress disorder. You don't want to be in loud crowds. You tend to isolate a lot of times, and this program is really dedicated to kind of helping them reintegrate into the community. The way we see it is they fought for our community. They should be an integral part of that. So this is really kind of a stepping stone for them to get into that, which it's a great program again. So
you mentioned homelessness. Is this a problem with some of our veterans?
It is a very big problem right now.
Is it really?
Homelessness. Yeah, last year we saw a little over 410 homeless veterans just in Erie here. So it's a very, very big problem. And I mean, our goal is to eliminate homelessness among veterans, and we're really working to try and do that. But what our homeless program does, they help veterans provide emergency housing, temporary housing, and also try and get them back on their feet to provide permanent housing again. We have a HUD-VASH program that has Section 8 housing vouchers. They have about 105 Section 8 housing vouchers to really help those who are chronically homeless get back on their feet and live life that they were meant to. So it's a great program, focuses on healthcare, and also there's a lot of underlying issues that cause homelessness, such as the mental health issues that we were talking about. And those are addressed in this homeless care program. Those are addressed, and they are seen for that, to help them be the best that they can and recover as much as they can. Along with homelessness, a lot of times we have some veterans who do get involved with the criminal justice system, whether it's DUIs for drinking, substance abuse, something like that. But our Veterans Justice Outreach Program, we have somebody who goes out into the prisons or goes out to the veterans who are in some legal trouble, and they really help to take care of their mental health issues again and take care of their health care. So they're really the liaison between the justice system and the VA. So that's another great program for them.
Gosh, we could be here forever talking about these programs.
We really could.
When you're talking about mental illness, it doesn't just affect the veteran. It affects the whole family. And this can put a lot of pressure on a spouse or children. do something for them.
Absolutely, and this is what we've seen. We've really recognized that with mental illness, there's a spillover effect that
Right.
goes into every part of their life, including their family and their children. So what we have is a family and friend support group that runs bi-monthly. So on the first and third Tuesday of every month from 6 p.m. until 7:30 at our behavioral health clinic, we open our doors to the family and friends of anybody who does have a loved one who is a veteran struggling with a mental health issue. Oftentimes the family members, they're the sole support at home, and when you don't understand what your loved one is going through, it's really hard to help
Right.
them. And it can also be very stressful for you as well if you're a family member. So what this program does is it's co-led by both a family member who's in that situation currently and a behavioral health specialist. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. And they focus on a number of topics, including stress management, problem solving skills. They discuss the basics of PTSD and different mental health illnesses. So the family is educated on that as well. Coping skills, again, that's a big one, to learn how to do that. They even cover the impact on the family, how to talk about this with your children or with others when they ask what's going on. So we have a number of programs and topics that are covered during this. But again, we really want to encourage family and friends to get involved in that, and you can be a sole support of recovery for your veteran. Yeah.
I have a question. A lot of times, maybe the veteran, the individual, doesn't realize what's happening with them, that they're disassociating from their family, and actually anybody, any communication. Can a loved one contact you guys and say, gosh, my husband or wife, there's something wrong here, I just don't know what to do?
They absolutely can contact us to see what programs and services we might have, and also just some of the symptoms. You can kind of tell what might be going on with some of the symptoms. Now, if a veteran doesn't authorize us to give out their information to the family, we do respect that, so we want veterans to know that. But also, if family is concerned about that, absolutely call. In fact, if you are immediately concerned about their health, their safety, we have a Veterans Crisis Line that is 24/7. It's available, confidential support. Both family, friends, and veterans can call this number and get help if you're worried about that. Now, since this Veterans Crisis Line was launched in 2007, I believe it was, more than 30,000 life-saving actions have been taken as a result of these calls, and there's been thousands and thousands. Yeah, so
Fantastic.
it is. If you're worried, take that step. Do not worry about that. Another thing a lot of family members don't know, they don't want to ask, are you having suicidal thoughts? Are you thinking about hurting yourself or hurting others? And it's okay to ask that. They might just be waiting for that opportunity to do that, but nobody wants to bring up suicide. It's the big elephant in the room.
What number would they call?
They can actually call, I just want to make sure we give them the right number. It is 1-800-273-8255.
And I also want to touch base that at the Erie VA Medical Center, there's changing things happening on your campus.
Yes.
Can you give us just a brief overview or some of the things that our viewers are going to be seeing out there?
We have a lot of construction going on right now. Underway, we have our new behavioral health building that should be ready to move into any day now, so we're getting excited for that. Again, that program has more than doubled in the past couple of years, so we're excited to move there. We also have a new ambulatory surgery center that's coming in the back of the medical center there. That's just going to open up access for veterans who are walking into the surgery clinic. So it's a better location, bigger facility, and it's going to be fantastic. Now, a big one is the famous parking garage that we are making. That's been a huge sore subject with a lot of people, but we have listened to the concerns, and we are building that parking garage, and that's going to hopefully start this summer. In addition to that, we have some forward projects that aren't going to happen just yet, but one of them is a community living center, which is the nursing home type of service that we provide at the medical center. So those are all going underway right now, so it's going to be busy, and we do ask veterans and visitors to be patient with us in the roadways, but definitely keep coming to us, and we're just working to improve the services.
And then you mentioned you've got you're going to have free valet service.
Yes, thank goodness. We're going to have free valet service, and we
Yes.
have it now. So
Oh, it's in play now?
It's in place now. Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a little temporary relief for those construction projects that are going on. But veterans can pull up to our main hospital right there by the glass windows right off of 38th Street.
Nice.
Park your thing. It is absolutely free. Tips are not even allowed, so don't even worry about doing that. And they will park it Monday through Friday from 7:30 until 4:30. So great benefit.
Sarah, how can our community get involved with helping the veterans?
Well, first thing is just support local veterans. Show your support. Thank a veteran. And if you're looking to get involved on a more regular basis, we have a number of volunteer opportunities available. Everything from working in our hospice units, just being a guardian angel for some of those veterans, to escorting veterans around downstairs, to helping different departments fold papers and send them out. We have so many volunteer opportunities, and they can really get involved in that at any time. So our voluntary office is at 814-860-2454. They can contact, and they will have to fill out an application, but we're always looking for volunteers.
And they can get information on your website also. What is the website?
They can go to www.erie.va.gov, and we're also on Facebook and Twitter, so stay up to date that way.
Okay, gotta like them on Facebook. Twitter I don't do, but most of my viewers probably do. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us on the program, letting our viewers know everything new that's happening out there, exciting projects in the work.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and we thank all of our veterans and their family members for everything that they gave for us.
If you have any questions, you want to volunteer, you need more information, please feel free to give them a call. Viewers, thank you for tuning in, watching the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.